So it's really about how to stay positive in a fast-changing world with a lot of problems and problems everywhere. And I first want you to really, really understand that stress kills everything. Stress is made to fight or flight, right? That's why our body creates stress. Stress is bad for your health, it's bad for your performance, it's bad for your happiness, it's bad for clear thinking. In stress, you either you put your body in a mode where you can get all your physical strengths together to fight against something that threatens your life, or you just run away. These are the two actions that are triggered by stress. And your body and your mind cannot decide if the stress is created by something that we call reality outside, like T-Rex is standing in front of you, or if the stress in your body is just created by thought. So you are able to create the same thoughts that creates the same stress, even if you are lying at the beach, right? That's why most people suffer from anxiety and stress. So I just want to put a real spotlight on what stress is and why that is so dangerous. Now, stress, how is that created? It typically starts with something and you are not aware of why it happens, but all of a sudden you get negative emotions, which is typically feeling of stress. And when you are stressed for too long time, then you also feel tired and sad, and this is then how it can result in a depression. But when you feel negative emotions and you are not aware of it, then you feel negative, and then you create negative thoughts, which creates more negative emotions, which creates more negative thoughts. And that's the spiral downwards to, if you do it for a long time, burnout. And exactly these two things are what speed up this roller coaster. It's the combination of emotions that affect your thoughts, that affect your emotions. That might look like a hamster wheel, but there is something, and that's called your conscious mind, that can interrupt this. Because most thoughts are not created by intention through you, they are created by your subconscious mind. That's when you are trying to be present, but all of a sudden you just stare at the wall or at something, and something is behind you that makes constant blah, 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 blah talks to you, right? That's your subconscious mind that speaks to you, and you can hear that, right? These are the thoughts that you create all day. But you don't create them intentionally because they are sometimes so bad that when someone else would tell you these things, you would immediately say, please stop that, don't talk to me like this. But look at yourself, you very often talk to yourself like this. And the question is, why do you accept that? Now, just to my background, why I tell you this, right? I didn't read books about that. I read some books, but basically all of that is from experience. And I reflected a lot on that because I had a lot of challenges in my life, and I know today why that is. And most are rooted in what my parents told me. They always told me you have to work hard. They also told me you can't become successful. Look at you, you don't have all the things that you need to become successful. They always told me money is bad. My parents didn't have a lot of money, and when we had trouble at home, it was always because of money, so I hated money. And they always told me nothing is for free or easy in life. Life is hard. Okay, and there are studies that when you are a child below the age of 6, everything that you hear and see goes directly into your subconscious mind. So that goes directly to the hard drive of your computer, which is your subconscious mind, and becomes your operating system. Okay, that is important to know when you have kids. They don't like listen to you and think, oh, is it right what these people say? And is it good to behave like this? No, they see it and they think that's reality and they do it exactly like this. So then my belief became, I always have to work hard. My belief was I have to work the hardest. And I always have to fight hard to be successful. And then, of course, money is bad and life is hard. That was really my belief. That was what I talked to others. That's what was deeply rooted in my subconscious mind. And the result is, till I was 28, everything was really a fight for me. Fighting was so important for me that I started karate, went to the national team of Germany, traveled the world for world championships in karate. That was the meaning of my life. I have to fight to become successful. That's why I did that. And still, I always felt unsuccessful because my parents always told me, you will never be successful. So in the end, it was never enough. Even if I won the world championship in karate, it wasn't enough. I tried for something else. I need to go to kickboxing and become the best there, which I didn't do, luckily. But I was always just driven by that. And I had the strong belief that money is bad. I was broke with minus 17,000 euro at the age of 23 when the financial authority, the tax authority, pulled the first profit tax from my bank account. And I was there with nothing. I had to sleep in my car, literally. I slept a month at the place where I worked in my car in winter because I couldn't afford to go somewhere else and pay for a flat. And I didn't want to go back to my parents because they were so bad to me, right? And then in 2012, I got my first big client and they still owe me 100,000 euro. So you see how the belief that I had absolutely became my reality and my life was really, really hard. I always just had people that wanted to betray me, fight me, fool me. Exactly what I believed. And I was always wondering, why always me? So I made the real experience. And there are studies, if you want to listen to Joe Dispenza, for example, he does really scientific studies that beliefs become your reality. And by the way, that's what quantum physics also is all about. Now, again, your beliefs drive your thoughts. They drive your emotions, and they drive your thoughts, and they drive your emotions. So your operating system, your program, is your set of beliefs, your belief set, your belief system. So now, how can you create thoughts, positive thoughts? So first of all, you hear what other people say, right? It starts in your childhood, and then it starts with business partners and employees and loved ones. You hear what they say, and you believe them. And then you make it your belief, right? You listen to the news, you listen to social media, you see things, and you see it again and again, and then you make it your belief and think it's real. Now it becomes your belief. Or you experience something, for example, you meet a specific person, and this person is not good to you, and then you need to find some rationales why that happened, and you come up with a story. For example, you say that policemen are always bad and cruel, just because you had one bad experience with a policeman, right? Or maybe you have a relationship and you got betrayed. And then you develop the story that these kind of people are bad because they always betray you. So your experience is backed by a story that you create in order to be able to have a feeling of control and understanding of the situation that happened to you. And then this story becomes your new belief. And this is then your extension of the operating system that drives you every day with this loop. Now, this is also valid when you communicate to others. Because when you, and I can say that from my own experience, when I was stressed all day, my employees were stressed. When I used words that create stress, for example, escalation, like the project crashed against the wall, all these pictures that cause you to be stressed. Then my team was stressed and my family got stressed and they saw me being stressed and they were even more stressed. And remember, stress kills. Health performance, happiness, and clear thinking. So when you expect your employees to perform, don't put them under stress. I know you don't do this consciously, but you do it unconsciously when you use words like escalation, we have to, this will crash, and so on. So they see and hear you, and then they believe you, especially when you are an authority like a father or a husband or the boss or a manager. And then they develop the same language and the same thoughts. And they make it their belief. And then it becomes, like if it's your business, it becomes the culture of your business. Right? And then if you grow that, you just get more people around that keep you in this stress environment because they mirror you with exactly the same behavior and the same words and the same language that puts you in a constant stress environment. So they experience the same. They get negative emotions, seeing you stressed, using words that cause stress, giving meaning to situations that are just situations, but you start to make a drama out of it. So they experience the situation as a drama, which creates negative thoughts for them, which creates negative emotions, and so on. So they also experience this downward spiral of constantly increasing stress. Now, what I want to say is just these 4 things. Your thoughts, they become your words. You cannot say something that you cannot think, right? And your words become your actions. And your actions become reality. Look at everything that exists around you. You cannot create something when you cannot think it. That's why we have education. Because first you need to be able to think about something, and then you can talk about it, and then you can do it, and then it's there, it's your reality. So take very good care of what you think. And as we already learned a few minutes ago, that what others tell you, what you read, what you hear, becomes your own belief. Carefully select what you listen to or read. And I don't want to tell you which media to consume, etc. I can just tell you what I do. I never listen to the news because they are made to catch your attention with negativity. Otherwise, no one would listen. In Germany, we have one day where the news, they talk about something positive. But I think people just don't listen to that because they are all so addicted to the emotion of stress and negativity that you only can catch their attention with problems. I mean, that's why most ads start with problems. This is where the attention of people is. Now, carefully select what you listen to read, and then even most importantly, reflect and decide consciously what you want to make your own belief. That's always your choice. And your conscious mind, when you really think about, oh, now I heard this, is that really true? Do I really want to believe that? Then you start to set a filter between what others tell you and what you want to believe. And when you create your own thoughts and you realize that you created this thought, then you are empowered to create another thought instead that makes you feel better. Now you might think, yeah, but I cannot just feel good when the world goes down and so on. The world never goes down. It's still here. It will always be there. You just give the meaning that the world goes down to a situation that you interpret as negative, and you want to make it very negative, just like to put the attention of others to it, because you are just used to that feeling of being stressed and negative when something is not going the way you want it. But I would really look at which thoughts do you create and then change them for the better. So new social media and negative speaking people, if this is your environment, you are very likely to think in the same way and feel in the same way. And if you are not in a conscious state, remember the kid that is less than 6 years old. They take every word, every action, everything they see directly in their subconscious mind. And when you are not conscious, and most people, they are going through their life 95% unconscious. So they just react. That's why it's so hard to resist our phone. It's not that we make a conscious choice to now read an email because now is a good time and it's smart to read an email and then directly answer, even if you are on holiday. That's a reaction driven by your unconscious thought that tells you, I need to react now because here the world is going down and this person needs me, otherwise there is a big problem. Which is just a story. This is not reality, that's just your story, the meaning that you give to what you see. Now, when you are in a conscious state, 5% of life most people live in, then you have a choice. Then you can say, oh, now I'm on holiday, no, I don't use my phone. Or, oh, there's an email, okay, but now I'm at dinner with my family, so I will read it tomorrow when I start working. Then you have a choice, but most of the time we don't have the choice because we are not conscious enough. So that's why removing distraction is the first step to reduce stress and then become more conscious to have the possibility of choice and then make better decisions that stress you less. And with less stress, you have more joy, you are healthier, you have more brain energy to make smarter decisions. So remember, your thoughts become your words, they become your actions, they become your reality. Now, again, because that's really important, how you create your thoughts is just by taking what others say as for granted and make it your belief, or by experience something and you create a story for this experience and you make that your ultimate reality. Now, how can you create your own thoughts? So the first thing is really to be able to control the activity of your brain. And you can do this by simply meditating. And that has nothing to do with you need to become a Buddhist or something. This is nothing religious. It's just sitting down and trying to be calm. And you will see it's so hard in the beginning. And why is that? Because your subconscious mind always creates thoughts that you have to do this and you have to do that. And now it's a better time to do this and blah, 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 blah. That's why you can't sit still, close your eyes, and just be there for 30 minutes. But this is the first step to control your thoughts, which controls your words, which controls your actions, which creates your reality. Also, affirmations is a good thing to reprogram your beliefs, your subconscious mind. Because remember how this was created, your operating system. It was created by other people telling you something, and you took that over as your belief. Okay, that's what I showed you again here. You hear other people saying something, or you experience something and you create a story. Now you can use the same and just tell yourself a different thing. You just write down on a paper what you want to think. For example, while my belief system was life is hard, money is bad, I have to fight to be successful, I will never be successful. Now my new belief is life is good, I get more than enough money, it's easy for me to earn money, life is joy, I'm more successful than I could have ever imagined. Now my reality and the things I see, they are still as they are. But I give them a different meaning, which creates different emotions, which creates different thoughts. And that's how I change my actions and so my reality. Affirmations is just write it on a paper and read it in the morning and in the evening multiple times out loud. And there are even programs, because this is also, that's backed by science. I don't know all the studies, but I know there is a big startup in the US that is an app where you can put text on the app. And if you put like this app next to your bed, when you start sleeping, you go into, your brain waves go down into like gamma mode, beta mode and gamma mode, and then you sleep. But this is exactly the unconscious mind when hypnosis works and when you take things directly into your subconscious mind without questioning them, so without a filter. So you can put these new belief systems on an app and put it next to your bed, and you don't even hear it. It's just a frequency, but it goes directly into your brain. This is how you can even learn language. It's totally crazy, but this is how our brain works. And if you know how that goes, you can use it If you don't know how that goes and you stay unconscious, others use it, then you are driven by others. So reflect on what you say. Look at your own words. Which words do you use every day with others? Do you use drama words or do you use positive words? Now you might think, yeah, you cannot just make everything nice. But why not? Now, remember this again. I would just want to reinforce that. And then look at this. You want to avoid creating drama in your thoughts because it creates stress and negative emotions, and that creates more negative thoughts. So instead of giving situations a negative meaning, like the world goes down and this is an escalation and I don't know what people say, what will happen if something doesn't work out. But start looking at things as they are. For example, like if you get a complaint from a client, instead of saying, oh my God, when this client leaves and then this and this and that, and now I need to react and make everyone crazy, to see, stay curious. This client has a problem. That's interesting. What's the problem? How can I solve it? How can I help this person? Okay, these are different thoughts. Now you can only create these words when you can create the thoughts. So you want to train your brain to create positive thoughts, because then you have to deal with this situation anyway. But the big difference is how you feel in this situation. And I think if you had the choice, and you have, if you want to feel good and empowered and full of energy in a situation that is challenging for you, or if you want to feel stressed and sad and tired and negative, I think you all would choose the positive one. And also, when other people choose with which leader they want to work with, or clients or service providers with whom they want to work with, we all choose positive people. Because it gives us a better experience, and then it gives us also the possibility to create better results. So staying curious, this is the last one, not judgmental. When you see a situation, be curious. Oh, what is it? How can I help that? Oh, how did that happen? What can I learn from that? How can I impact this positively? How can I support the person? Instead of making it a drama. So the situation is always as it is, no matter what happens. Right? And we have some situations also in the world, they simply are as they are. You might think that you have to know what's going on in the world. But why? What does it if you know what's going on in the world? If you don't do anything, it's worth nothing. It just creates a lot of stress and pain, and you will be more anxious and frustrated. Now, if you know something and you do something with it, that's good. That's why knowledge is there. We saw that in the beginning, right? You cannot do things if you don't know things. So you need to know it first and then do. But just knowing without doing has no effect. That's why worrying is the worst thing you can do. It even prevents you from taking positive action because you are constantly in fear mode. And this prevents you from doing something. So just see the situation as it is and deal with it positively. The big difference is that the meaning you give to the situation decides how you feel. And with these thoughts, your feelings are created. And then your feelings make the experience. That's all it is about. And then this spiral can be turned around by 180 degrees. If you have positive thoughts, then you have positive emotions, then you have more positive thoughts, then you have more positive emotions. And this impacts your actions and your results and everyone around you. Right? And now when you start with negative emotions, of course it's not easy to create positive thoughts. By far not easy. But what is easy? It's easy when you train it. And then you get better. And then all of a sudden it is easy because it's you. you are just trained to do it. Like for now, it is maybe easy for you to create negative thoughts because you were trained by that. You were listening to people, made that your belief, listening to the news, to social media, to everything. And then you put gas into the fire by creating more of these thoughts, which enlights your negative emotions, which creates more negative thoughts. And the same is possible with positive thoughts and positive emotions using positive words. And it starts with calming your brain down with meditation, using affirmations to reprogram your mind with positive beliefs. So if you change the meaning you give to a situation, right? Remember, the situation is always as it is until you change it. But it is your experience according to the meaning you give to it. So when you change the meaning, it means you change the thought that you attach to the situation. And then it changes your feeling almost automatically. Then it changes your words that you use, and then others will also see the situation more positive, so they will feel better, which means you have more positive and joyful people around you, which makes you more positive. So this is important. I don't want you to leave this presentation saying, Manuel said, we should always make everything just positive. This is not what I say. And then, or maybe ignore things that don't work, even worse. No, this is not what I say. Look at the things that don't work, be curious, enjoy that you have the opportunity to change it, and then make it with a positive emotion and positive thoughts, to learn something from the situation and to feel well while dealing with it. You have to deal with it anyway. So it's your choice if you deal with the situation with negative thoughts and emotions or positive thoughts and emotions. It will change your business, people around you, and your life. So examples are everywhere around you. Look at email subjects. How fast do you react to emails when your most important client sends you an escalation email with a red exclamation mark? When you see that next time, just try to stay aware and listen to your body, how that creates stress in you. But this is not a fight or flight situation, which is the typical reaction, stress then, but it's just an email. It's just a person, right? And when you get trained to putting a negative thought to an email from a specific person, this person can send you something positive, like they want to renew the contract of 100,000 euro. But when you look at the email, you instantly create stress. That's what happened to me in the past so often. And then they told me, Manuel, we want to renew the contract. I was like, oh God, I wasn't able to open this email for 2 days because I was so in fear that they will cancel the contract. No, they renewed it. So better stay curious and look at it what it is and then deal with it. And instead of always expecting that negative things come up, which always puts you in the expectation that negative things will come up and then they will come up, better expect positive things. Now, there are people that have the beliefs that it's better to not be too positive because then you cannot be disappointed. What they say is they better go frustrated through life and hope they be surprised that something positive will come up their way. This won't happen for sure. So better be positive, and if things don't go out as you expected them, stay curious and see it as a learning. Maybe your assumption was wrong, so correct it. Right? When you look at your life, how it is today, and you look at it on a span of 5 years, 10 years, the world never went down. Your biggest fears and doubts, how something would be if this would happen, I think it never became reality in the way as you thought it would be. So now here is some action time that you can take away for after the presentation. Write down which thoughts you often have in which situations, especially when you get stressed. Write them down really as a list. And then split your paper into 2 columns. On the left column, you have the negative thoughts that cause the stress and the meanings you give to them and your belief set that is attached to it. And on the right side, it's like the problem solution blueprint from the scalable business strategy. you put the opposite of this negative thought. You put it into a positive thought that you want to think. And I can tell you, when you do this in the beginning, you totally feel like you would lie to yourself. And you are totally fooling yourself. And this is exactly the indicator that this negative thought is so deep in your subconscious mind that it is your ultimate reality, which is absolutely not. It's just yours and you can change it. So now you write down the positive thought on the other side and then just like cut the paper into 2 pieces and burn the negative side and take the positive side to bed. And when you go to sleep, read it out loud. And when you wake up, read it out loud. And you will see that over a period of 1 to 6 months, it will totally change how you experience your everyday work and life. Because you give a better meaning to it, which gives better thoughts, which creates better emotions. And that is a big game changer. I mean, when you really feel better while doing the same things, you have much more power. You can do things a lot better, create better results, have more positive people around you. And all it takes is understanding that this blah, blah, blah behind you is something that you would never accept when someone else tells this to you. And you are conscious about this. So stop saying negative things to yourself and create more positive thoughts. It will create more positive environments, better results, better feelings, and a better life.
If you want to learn about the 6 building blocks of a self-managing business that is powered by AI, automation, self-managing teams, and global freelancers, then just click the link below and you will get free access to the AI-powered business blueprint that shows you exactly how you can run a global business with automation, AI, and freelancers.